Hey everybody, and welcome to my video of this 1989 Mustang LX, currently for sale on Bring a Trailer. So I wanted to make a short little video here and kind of do a walk around, show you the car, do a cold start on it. So this is where it usually parks, inside of my garage. We're in sunny Arizona right now. It's Christmas Day. It's currently 70 degrees in the garage, just about. The car's been sitting here for about 6 days now. I had someone come and look at it on Monday last week. Today's Sunday, so it's been sitting here this whole time. You can see here, I can touch everything. It's cold. There's the headers, nice and cold. So been sitting at rest. So I'm going to start it. I'm going to prop the camera up by the exhaust, that way you can see it doesn't blow any smoke on startup. We'll do a little walk around. And just kind of forewarn everybody here, this is going to be kind of a raw, uncut video. I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to hide anything. So I'm just going to have to kind of bear with it here. It's going to be a couple little boring moments. So let me get the camera set up here. We'll fire it off. And let's check it out. Now I did turn on the air conditioning. You can see it does function. Try and get the edge of the hood here without the sun hitting it to show there's no rust. Small little paint chip right there. There's another small little paint chip right there. Everything else here, rust free. All the aprons down here. Has a new condenser in it. Here's how good the fan works. You can see that leaf stuck to it. It says K&N, but there is not a K&N in there. It's just a paper filter. And I know you guys can't feel it, but the AC is blowing cold air. I'll try and get a thermometer in there just to prove it. I think I have one in my toolbox. So the door chime works. You can see here the factory radio works. The sun is shining, man, he's super cool. Turn that down. I don't want to get a copyright infringement for music. It does have a short throw shifter in it. It's one of the no-namer ones. The ashtray does function. And you can see here, it's not broken. It hasn't been modified. It is still the original ashtray. The power mirrors on this do work. And it does have a functioning, unbroken console. There's a lot of these where the hinges break or the top pad breaks. This one here is still functioning. Inside the glove box here, you can see everything's still good. The light still works. The fuel door, I don't know if you'll hear it. And the trunk, they both function. This car does not have the defrost, but the hazard switch does function. Being an LX, there's no fog lights, but the headlights do function. I'm gonna shut my AC off because it's actually getting really cold in here. But you can see all the gauges work. The panel dimmer on this does function, and it has the original headlight switch in it still. Wipers and washers do function. As well as all of the power windows. And then again, the mirrors, it's driver's side. And the door locks from both switches here do function. And the door locks from here as well. Cruise control on this does work, as well as the horn. The back seat is actually in really good shape. Let's see if I can get some shade here. Sorry, I get a glare from the sun. Seat belts do function. Has the original carpet, upholstery, and door panels in it. There's no tears in any of the upholstery. There is one small blemish right here on the passenger seat. I think it's probably a cigarette burn hole, but the car does not smell like smoke. See the kick panel, the speakers, everything is all intact. The lumbar works, as well as the side bolster adjustment. And the adjustment for the thigh support works on both seats. The door panels, again, they're factory Ford. And I apologize about the glare from the sun. So this does open with the key, but we already manual popped it. Now these are super common to rust in the back. So you can see there's just a little bit of surface rust right there from way back when. It looks like it's been cured and it was painted over at one point. But otherwise everything in here is rust free. Same coming down this side of the rail. This does still have the factory lights in it. I don't know how well it picks up, but there is a Ford emblem right there, the Ford part number. The same on this light right here. Again, this rail here, you can see no rust in it. There's your VIN tag, the other VIN tag, and the VIN tag on the hatch. The dome light in here, it does still function, as well as the cargo cover. I have the floor mats. I don't have the driver's factory floor mat, and I believe these are probably an aftermarket, even though they do fit the floor very well. Have an extra set of keys. I do have the original Ford keys here with it, as well as a bunch of documentation of stuff that was done under warranty, and some of the life from the original owner. A lot of the documentation ends in 96. Have a title, as well as all of the factory books, the owner's manual, warranty booklet, and everything. I don't want to lift it up just because of stuff on here, but underneath we do have the factory spare tire, the jack, the tire iron, and the wheel locks. They are pictured in the Bring a Trailer listing. Again, the fuel door, like I said, it pops from the inside. This one being an early body, it does lock. You have to push the button. Has the SVE 18-inch wheels. It's still 4-bolt with drum brakes. And you can see, like, let's see if I can get a good shot down the side here. This car, body-wise, is clean. There's no scratches, dents, dings, nothing on it. It does have here the Ford badging on this headlight, as well as this headlight. This one I think may have been replaced. It doesn't have the Ford tag on it. This one here has the Ford emblem. This one here has the Ford emblem. This headlight does look slightly newer than that headlight. So the questions about the accident, I think what happened is it probably got hit right here, and I think it broke this headlight out of it. This headlight here might be, or this marker light might be a aftermarket, just because I don't see the Ford badging on it. I have had the front bumper off of this. I took it off when I was doing the AC repair. There is on the back side of the bumper a VIN tag. There's also painted over, but there's a VIN tag there. The VIN tag on that fender, and the VIN tag on the hood. I'm going to set the camera back up here one more time now that this is kind of warmed up a little bit. Give it a rev. So it does have stock exhaust in it. It has one factory muffler, one aftermarket replacement stock style muffler. But I want to show you that you can rev it, it doesn't blow smoke. Okay, so this is going to be the only pause that I do in the video. I'm going to close the hood, back the car out, and we're going to take it for a little test drive. Alright guys, so we're back in the car. Unfortunately, I got you on my head camera. I know they're not really a favorite thing, but it's the best I can do. It's the only way I can really safely drive the car. So, go for a little cruise here. The transmission on this car does shift very smooth. It's very quiet. I've never had any issues with it grinding. The turn signals do cancel on their own, both right and left. was a 3-2 downshift. Here's a first gear downshift. That was about 3/4 throttle acceleration. Here's fourth gear. There's fifth gear. Here's a downshift a second. And back into first. So the brake master cylinder has been replaced on this car within about last year, as well as the rear brake shoes, the axle seals, and the axle bearings on the rear. This car had 2 badly blown axle seals when I got it, so all that stuff got replaced. And then flushed out all the brake fluid when that was all done. So brake system is in excellent shape on this car. But again, it is all factory brake components. So we'll go over here, we'll jump on the freeway, I'll go down one exit, and then we'll head back. You can see the tachometer here has an even idle. A lot of these Fox bodies will kind of get that erratic hunting idle. This one here is actually pretty smooth, pretty solid. Don't really have any issues with it. You can see my oil pressure here hanging out pretty consistent. Alternator still charging. When I get on the freeway, I'll set the cruise control, show you that that does work. And you see here my AC, I've had it on low, and we're about 40 degrees coming out of the vent. And again, it is on low, so you turn the fan speed up, it does tend to get colder. And with the braking, there is no pulsation or pulling or shakes. Very smooth. This car is actually incredibly comfortable to drive. It is lowered about 1.5 inches. It is lowered with the factory springs. That way you get that smooth ride. I did try a set of BBK springs in it, and they are just incredibly stiff. The wire diameter for the back axle was quite a bit larger than what the factory one was, and you would feel every bump and crack and everything in the road. So stock springs went back into it, and It's actually a very fun car to drive. It handles very well, especially with the wide tires on it. The back tires are almost 11 inches wide. The front tires are about 8.5 inches contact on the ground, so definitely wants to stick to the road. Okay, so I'm going to turn the cruise control on, set it at 65 miles an hour, got my foot off of the pedal. You can see we're maintaining speed. If I hit the accel button, you can see we're gaining speed. If I hit the coast button, you can see we're slowly decelerating, but it is slowing down. If I hit the brake pedal or the clutch cancel, it does shut off. And when I hit resume, it is picking speed back up. So again, this car does not leak any fluid at all. I recently replaced the rear main seal because it was leaking very bad. I would have about a 10 to 12 inch puddle that it would leave under the car every week. So I got a new Timken rear main seal. And then while I had it apart, I put a new Luke clutch on it with pressure plate and throwout bearing and pilot bearing. It does still have the factory clutch cable and quadrant. And I also put a front crank seal in it about a year ago because it was leaking very bad. Somebody has gone and put valve cover gasket and oil pan gasket in it. That was previous owner, as well as a water pump. It's been replaced. So again, I don't know the exact accurate mileage on it, but I do know that it has the original engine in it. It has good compression. It doesn't smoke. When I bought this car a year ago, I replaced the spark plug wires, distributor cap and rotor, and the spark plugs. All of those components, minus the spark plugs, had a date code from a Ford part number of 1987. So I don't know the mileage on it, but I can't imagine it being very high. I doubt that those spark plug wires would have lasted 143,000 miles. Now again, I don't have any proof of that, but you can take it for what it's worth. The AC in this car didn't work when I got it, so I replaced the compressor, the condenser, all of the lines, the accumulator, and I recharged it with 134. It's all been retrofit over. So again, the AC in this is nice and cold. I did have a question of how does it do in the Phoenix summer, and quite honestly, when it's over 105 degrees here and the car is heat soaked, sitting out in the sun, there isn't an AC good enough to cool it down. I really don't care what you say. I have a brand new 2020 Nissan, and even at that 105 degrees in that car, you get about 55-60 degree air coming out the vent. So I would say this one, for its age and the way it's designed and everything, it's about as good as it can be. But in 105 degree weather, it's not going to be ice cold air coming out. It's going to be kind of humid, muggy air. But 100 degrees and below, it actually works really well. So the other thing I keep forgetting to show here is the map light. These map lights are usually broken and don't work. This one here still functions. It rotates in every direction, and it'll lock and stay into place. So these are actually turning into kind of a unicorn piece. Also, this does have the factory sun visors in it. The flap is missing off of it, and I think some of these lights in here are burned out. The aftermarket ones just aren't really all that great, so I've chosen to keep these ones instead of replacing them. And then the headliner on this is actually the original headliner still. There's no tears, there's no cigarette burns, it's not sagging. And the dome light here does still function. So guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoy the car. If you have any questions or something else you want to see, please send a comment or a message, and I'll try and get you the video that you need. Thank you.